Hey legends, back again on Day of News in WWE, your daily dose of WWE chaos and excitement. Subscribe, hit that bell, and let's roll into the action. The arena was trembling. The crowd hadn't even caught its breath when that familiar heartbeat echoed through the speakers, deep, rhythmic, and unmistakable. In that instant, time stopped. The lights went out. Thousands of flashlights lit up the darkened stadium like fireflies, each one belonging to a fan holding their breath. Everyone knew something monumental was about to happen, but no one could have predicted this. When the lights came back on, standing at the center of the ring was Roman Reigns, the undisputed face of WWE, dressed head to toe in his signature OTC1 gear, sleek black, lined with metallic red details, radiating power and legacy. The crowd erupted in unison, chanting his name, the tribal chief's aura filling every inch of the arena. But before the cheers could even fade, the cameras shifted to the audience. And that's when it happened. The return that no one believed possible. Through the sea of fans, a figure emerged from the shadows. A leather jacket, combat boots, that unmistakable glare. It was Jon Moxley, the same Moxley who had walked away from WWE years ago to redefine himself and conquer the world of wrestling on his own terms. The same man who once shared a brotherhood with Roman, only for time, pride, and corporate boundaries to tear them apart. For a moment the crowd didn't know how to react. Gasps echoed through the stands. Was it real? Could it be happening? And then Moxley stepped over the barricade, climbed onto the apron, and slowly entered the ring, wearing the same OTC1 gear as Roman Reigns. Two worlds collided in that instant, WWE and AEW, past and present, loyalty and rebellion. The audience was on its feet, tears in their eyes, phones in the air, recording history. For the first time in years, Roman Reigns and Jon Moxley stood face to face, not as rivals, but as brothers. From enemies to brothers again. It felt like a dream. Years of tension, countless interviews, and subtle jabs between them had built this wall that fans never thought would come down. Roman, the architect of dominance. Moxley, the embodiment of defiance. Their paths couldn't have been more different, and yet the bond they shared could never truly be broken. In that electric silence, Roman raised his fist. A heartbeat later, Moxley raised his own, and just like that, the Shield's iconic salute returned, not as nostalgia, but as a declaration. The crowd roared so loud that even the commentary table fell silent. This wasn't a storyline. This wasn't marketing. This was emotion, raw and real, bleeding from the ring to every corner of the WWE Universe. The meaning behind the reunion. Roman's voice broke through the cheers. War Games is ours. Those 4 words sent shockwaves through the industry. This wasn't just a reunion for the cameras. It was the spark of something revolutionary, the bridging of 2 worlds that fans thought would never coexist. For years, fans debated what would happen if WWE and AEW ever clashed in an official capacity. Fantasy matches, dream bookings, what-ifs, they filled online forums and social media. And now, suddenly, it was real. Roman Reigns and Jon Moxley, representing 2 rival universes, were standing side by side. The War Games match at Survivor Series 2025 had just become the most anticipated event in wrestling history. The power of the visual. It wasn't just the handshake or the fist bump that made this moment iconic. It was the visual storytelling. Both men stood wearing identical OTC1 gear, symbolizing unity, loyalty, and rebirth. Roman's stoic authority met Moxley's wild energy, forming a balance that the wrestling world had missed since their last days as the Shield. The black and red color palette of their new gear wasn't random. The O in OTC1 stands for one, and this reunion represented exactly that. 2 worlds, one brotherhood. Insiders later revealed that this wasn't a spur-of-the-moment creative decision. It had been in the making for months, carefully planned in secret to ensure maximum shock value. The industry reacts within minutes. The internet was in meltdown. Wrestling Twitter exploded with clips, reactions, and disbelief. Former wrestlers, journalists, and fans from both promotions posted the same phrase over and over. "The Shield is back." Hashtags trended worldwide. Even active AEW stars posted cryptic messages hinting that something big was coming. Behind the scenes, executives from both companies reportedly coordinated for months to make this crossover possible, something that would have been unthinkable even a year ago. For years, WWE and AEW were portrayed as bitter rivals, but in this moment, competition gave way to collaboration, all for the sake of storytelling and the fans. A dream years in the making. Ever since the breakup of the Shield, fans had held out hope that one day, the three men who changed modern wrestling, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, now Jon Moxley, would stand together again. The bond they shared wasn't just about tag titles or main events. It was about brotherhood. They bled together, fought together, and rose to the top together. When Moxley left WWE in 2019, the dream seemed dead. He reinvented himself in AEW, earning respect as one of the most fearless wrestlers on the planet. Roman became the face of WWE, carrying the company through a new golden era as the tribal chief. Both carved their own legacies, separate yet parallel. And now, in 2025, destiny had brought them full circle. The build to Survivor Series War Games. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Survivor Series has always been about brand supremacy, but this year it's something much more, an interpromotional war. Multiple factions are fighting for dominance, alliances are shifting, and old rivalries are being reignited. The return of Roman and Moxley together doesn't just change the storyline, it changes the business. Insiders are already calling this the biggest crossover in wrestling history. The Shield's return creates an unpredictable wild card. Will Seth Rollins join them? Will AEW stars invade Survivor Series? Every possibility is on the table, and fans can't stop speculating. What comes next? The questions now are endless. Will Seth Rollins join his brothers for one more run? Will AEW invade Survivor Series? Will this alliance extend beyond one match? No one knows. And that's what makes it so exciting. For the first time in a long time, wrestling feels unpredictable again. Anything can happen. And that's the magic fans have been craving. Conclusion: when legends reconnect. What happened inside that arena wasn't just an angle, it was a full circle moment, a story of loyalty, loss, and redemption. Roman Reigns and Jon Moxley standing together again isn't just about wrestling. It's about brotherhood, legacy, and the unbreakable bond that outlasts even the fiercest rivalries. The Shield once promised that they would run this business from the ground up. Years later, they're proving that promise never died. It just evolved. And now, as the world prepares for the most explosive Survivor Series in history, one thing is clear. The brothers are back. The heartbeat has returned. And wrestling will never be the same again.